Well, welcome back. Gosh, what we talked about last session, I want to go over a little bit. We talked about one approach not fitting all, right? We talked about you, Brent, your siblings, right? And how that responds from your dad and even how you expect, what you expect from your children, right? We talked about you and some clients and some family and some teaching and 5 kids. What we're going to talk about today, though, is why that happens. Why do children behave the way they do? So I have been coaching on the concept of temperaments for a very long time. And what it is it's a framework of communication that I have seen work over and over again. But let me tell you what temperament is. Temperament is innate. Temperament is like your eye color or your fingerprint. It is unchangeable, right? You are born with it. It's how you're going to naturally respond in different situations, right? So take this journey with me. The history of temperaments is thousands of years old, over 2,000 years old. And Hippocrates studied how people naturally responded to different situations. And what he found was that they fell into 4 different categories. So the Greek names are a lot, so we matched them with color. The Sanguine is yellow, the Choleric's red, the Melancholy's blue, and the Phlegmatic is green. So you have these 4 temperaments that create the framework of what we're going to build on. So the red and the yellow are extroverts. That does not mean they like to be around a lot of people. It means they talk before they think. These people have no filter. So this is a yellow child that expresses verbally or speaks and talks and thinks in stories, or a red child that's giving orders and needing to do something all the time. The bottom 2, the blue and the green, are introverts. Again, doesn't mean that they don't like to be around people. It means that they're processors. These kids process, they think before they talk, okay? So they're both gonna need time to process before they say what they wanna say. One is to be right, the blue, to make sure they're saying it right, and the green is so that they don't doubt themselves, okay? So you have the extrovert and the introvert. Now we have to go side to side on this chart. The right 2, the red and the blue, are task-oriented people. They're going to pick a task over a person every day of the week. This is somebody who really just wants to accomplish and produce something. The other side, the green and the yellow, are people-oriented. These people want to connect with people. They're going to pick a person over a task every day of the week. So now we're going to build from that. Because what the key learning point in this is that each one of these speaks their own language. And that's what we have to pay attention to going forward. So let's start there. The yellow, the sanguine, is an extrovert that likes to be around people. This is a person that speaks the language of fun and people. This person wants people around them all the time, if not, most of the time. They want to be doing something with another person. Now, left alone, they can be creative in their play, but they would rather have somebody with them. The red, this is a person that's an extrovert that is task-oriented. They speak the language of power and control. This is a child that wants independence. They want to be part of the decision-making, and if it's not done fast enough, they're done. They're going to check out and move on, right? The blue, this is an introvert that is also task-oriented, okay? So this is a person that speaks the language of perfection and order. This is a child that wants structure, they want a plan, and if there's too many quick changes, they can absolutely dismantle and feel like they're going into quicksand, right? And then the bottom, this is the one that I love the most. The green is an introvert that is people-oriented, okay? They speak the language of calm and harmony, but this is a child that's gonna stay on the outskirts looking in until they're ready to jump in. But if pushed too much to jump in, they're going to ditch the whole idea, okay? Now that you're getting a little bit more information and we're building this structure, who thinks they might have a yellow child that they can give me some?
It's got to be me. And my fun-loving, my fun-loving middle daughter.
Okay. Give me some adjectives that describe her.
She is curious. She is likable. She always makes friends wherever we go. She's bright. and full of energy. She loves to do things in a creative way. You talked about that. She likes to clean a room sometimes on a hoverboard, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go
I'm
for
amazed
it.
she can stand on it,
She is, turns and all that. She can sometimes be distractible, or she moves quickly through things, especially the things that she doesn't really want to do in school or chores or things that she thinks are boring. She wants to move on to the fun thing. She's really just bright, and a lot of sunshine comes out of her.
That is so interesting. I mean, you really listed a lot of the strengths and weaknesses of a yellow. So if you were wondering if you had a yellow that you coached, or you're, in your family, there's a comprehensive list that you can go to in the book and look right down, and almost everything you said, Rachel, is on that list.
So she's yellow.
Yeah, it sounds like she's yellow to me. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at some examples of some yellow sanguine children.
You can do this one.
Oh.
You can do this one. Just a simple little.
Nice.
Maybe like a.
Is that your yay dance? What do you think some of your strengths are?
My strengths are like being fun and energetic.
So much energy. Like sometimes I have too much energy for myself. I don't know what to do with it.
I fidget a lot with like my hands and my feet.
Just like jumping around, like.
Oh, like that? Yes.
I just love like being the crazy one and having fun with everyone.
Tell me about your friends.
Have a lot of them. They're nice to me. They play with me. They make me feel good.
Do you like to be alone?
No, not really. It bores me.
Yeah. So if you're thinking you're going to be alone, what do you do?
Go where people are.
Yeah. You're invited to a big party.
Okay.
Like a big party.
Okay.
You know no one.
Perfect.
Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect.
That was going to be would you go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? How would
so
you
much
do
fun.
that, though? Like, you're walking in the door. What's the first thing you would do?
What's up?
What do you think about chores? Do you have any?
Yep.
What do you think?
Not so fun.
Now, what's your least favorite thing to do?
I don't know. Thinking. I don't think a lot.
Do you ever get in trouble for anything?
I don't think there's a day that goes by where I don't get in trouble.
Okay.
It's just, I'm loud.
Yeah.
Like, I even hear myself sometimes. Someone gave me a microphone one time.
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
And I was like, am I really that loud?
Mommy, come here for a sec.
You have a lot of energy. What's your least favorite thing to do?
Hopefully to do homework.
Yeah. What do you think when somebody says make a 3, 5, 10-year plan?
I laugh. Because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing today.
Why did the dog cross the road?
Why?
Because he had to go to the doctor.
Oh.
I want to dance with somebody. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
What did the triangle say to the circle?
What?
You're pointless.
If there was one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be?
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything.
I think it'd be dope if I had, like, wings.
Oh, my goodness. Do they not just make you smile? Like the level of
They
energy?
seem like perfect children.
Don't they? Do they seem like perfect children to you? Well, here's what I know. For parents and teachers and coaches, they can be a lot, right? This yellow can be exhausting. So what I hear sometimes is that they can be loud, they can be silly, right? They can be over the top. But what we want to know is those descriptive words may match a yellow, but they also, as children, may match other temperaments. If you're unsure and you're thinking, gosh, is that child really a yellow? There are definite things that each temperament will avoid. And so as you're listening to these descriptive words, like your daughter, Rachel, I also want you to think, does my daughter avoid things that aren't fun for them? Like cleaning versus playing?
Yes.
Yeah? Does she?
Yes.
Yeah? And so you even said she made playing fun, right?
Cleaning fun, yeah. She makes it
or,
fun.
Yeah, she makes
Yeah.
cleaning fun. But she may avoid cleaning for fun, right? The other thing that a yellow is going to avoid is the burdening of a lot of details. Does anybody have a child that has a yellow or that you've coached that You know, you can just see their sparkle dulling the more detail you give them.
Yeah, I think I went to a client once. He's probably about 7, and he didn't want to be there anyway. But he starts playing. I walk in the office or I walk in the room because I was at his house, and he was playing with his toys, and he was sharing all of his toys with me, and everything was great. And I'm like, okay, well, this is cool, but I only have a certain amount of time. So then I started kind of narrowing things down to say, okay, well, I started asking my questions and let's start dealing with such. And he was just like, oh, it was
Like you
could
put
see
the
him
pin in the balloon.
Yeah, you could see him totally fizzle down, like
Just deflating.
And then can we
right?
just go back and play with my toy? Like
Much more fun.
Right. He immediately tried to kind of deflect back to what he wanted to do. So
Do they avoid negative comments or
Yes, in
just
fact.
negative tasks?
Well, the thing is, they'll avoid people who are critical or judgmental, especially people who only talk about bad or sad things. Is that what you're talking
That's what I
about?
was thinking. If
Yeah.
somebody has something critical to say, do they avoid that person?
Yeah, they'll definitely try to avoid them. So what we're watching for is not only the details and listening to understand what they say and do, we can even watch what they avoid, because that's going to give you a little bit more insight to where they're coming from, right? Because the temperament doesn't change. The wiggly yellow child at 5 is going to be a wiggly yellow adult at 35. Okay? This is a child that is magnetic, and they will become magnetic adult, right? They will take that right into adulthood, because when they're in their strengths, they are so inspiring. They're so encouraging. And this inspiration and encouragement is unmatched by other temperaments. This is a person that is so in the moment that they bring a breath of fresh air into the room when they come, right? And their face, like you said, just delights when they see another person. And what we want to understand is that this person can make you feel like the most important person in the room. And at that moment, you probably are. So let's not try to fix them. Let's refrain from telling them to stop wiggling. Let's refrain from telling them they're too loud or to pay attention or sit still.
really,
Instead, yeah.
April's like,
refrain
well, then how do you get them to do that?
really.
No, you would want to wiggle with that little guy because that's how he's wired.
Wiggle with him, April.
Yeah.
Wiggle with him.
Yeah, because this is what we want to do. The world needs these encouragers.
Yeah.
They need them. So let's teach them to manage the weaknesses they have and to live out of their strengths.
So giving a coaching critique to my yellow daughter after a softball game is probably not really good.
No,
Yeah.
probably not.
Probably celebrate.
Yeah. Did that just go off in your head when I was saying
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Just the softball season's coming to a close.
Yeah. So
That'd have been helpful 3 months ago. Thank you.
Well, you know what? What did I say earlier?
Next season.
Such a time
No,
as this.
I said today
the moment.
you're receiving it.
Right.
It's perfect timing today, right?
Right.
So let's move on. The Reds. Who thinks they may have a red child? You? Give me some adjectives about your red child.
It is like she came out of the womb in charge. I mean,
Of you?
yeah, well,
Of everybody,
yes.
right?
I mean, she has definitely had me wrapped around her finger, but she's just in charge. I mean, she just, wherever she go, we call her our camp counselor, because wherever we go and there's other kids there, she's immediately organizing a game for everyone to play.
That's
The
good.
line that she used when she was a kid that we used to just laugh, or a toddler that we would laugh about so much, is we'd say, hey, I have an idea. Let's do this. Put a puzzle together, play Legos, whatever. She would always say, I have a better idea. I mean, she would always respond with that line. And a lot of times it was a better idea.
Yeah.
Very strong-willed, just either lead or get out of the way kind of person. She's not afraid to follow if somebody else has an idea, but if she is in a room full of people and no one's taking charge, she will take charge.
That's great.
When the teacher asks for feedback, she has to restrain herself to not answer every single question because she has an answer for every single question. Very opinionated, has a lot of thoughts about a lot of things. She does love progress. She loves getting things done, moving things along. She enjoys activity, and she can be very stubborn, and she can often, it's hard to change her opinion about things. The biggest fights she would ever get should I stop, or is this too much?
No, I love it. Absolutely.
The biggest fight that she would get in with my wife was picking out clothes for school. It was just a constant problem because she did not like feeling controlled by someone else who was picking her clothes out. She wanted to express herself.
Oh gosh, Clay, that was great. Let's take a look at some other red collar kids, see what they have to say.
Does everything have to be a competition? And I'm like, yes, and I'm going to win.
I like to be in charge and lead.
When do you like to be in charge and lead?
Always.
Always?
Yeah, I'm independent sometimes. And then, yeah, I like to be in charge.
I do not feel uncomfortable being in charge. It's something that if I see a need, I'm gonna go and fix it.
Do you ever raise your voice?
I think I do a little bit.
Yeah, I can come off as bossy, but it gets the job done.
What would you say your best strengths are?
I'm a really hard worker. I strive to be the best person I can be.
I feel like I can delegate. That is one thing that while I do have a tendency to take over, I at least give a person a chance before I do that. I can delegate it out, but then once they prove to me that they can't do it, that is when I start to take things back.
Okay. What do you think are some of the weaknesses that you struggle with?
Probably being bossy, impatient.
I'm not trying to be mean. I usually say that before I say something because now I'm known as the rude one. So before I say anything, I'm not trying to be mean, but this needs to happen, blah, 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 blah.
I do have a tendency to be bossy, which in some cases I'm like, dude, it works. Sometimes you just need that. But in others, they're like, okay, dial it back just a little bit.
Do you ever get in trouble?
Well, yeah. Sometimes I'll want to be the leader and a lot, and I'll just get really frustrated because things aren't going as I planned or something.
Do you think that you're misunderstood a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because of what?
The way I carry myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the gist. I'd rather not talk about something for 2 hours. I'd rather say it in 7 words that gets the point across.
Yeah. What do you think you want to do when you grow up?
Something with business.
Because do you want to be in charge of it?
Yeah.
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 Do you think you would be a good employer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. If somebody is really annoying you.
I let them know.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I let them know.
What would you say?
Stop!
Ooh.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good. Oh, you can't miss them, right? You cannot miss those kids.
Those kids are going to be running the world one day.
They are clear. And to emphasize to, parents out there, I get that. They can be hard. They want to be a part of the decision making, right? They're determined to pick their own clothes and to do things. What I hear, though, is a lot of times is red children get angry or they want to argue. But again, this is not just red children. Just like I said with the yellows, there's things that your daughter probably avoids that no other temperament will avoid. And the one is work or games they cannot win at or achieve at. They're going to say something like, oh, this game was dumb. I didn't want to play anyway. Right? You say, You...
That's you. If I'm going to do something, I want to win.
Yeah.
Kathleen, can I ask you?
Sure.
Even watching that montage of kids, it seems like they're natural leaders. But what do you say to people that would say, oh, well, Reds, they're the leaders?
That's a great question because there's several different descriptive words that all temperaments can share, like leadership or creativity or sensitivity, right? But what that is all the temperaments in their strengths. That's why we have to look past the descriptive words and find out what the core motive is. Because leadership for your red daughter is going to look very different than leadership from you. Okay? And we also want to know that can happen with weaknesses. They can get confused if you're just saying frustrated or angry, right? We want to go past that. That's why it's so important to understand each temperament to the core. to that natural response and teach the children why they're making the decisions they're making. Why are they having the thoughts they're having? Because if we can do that, then as parents or teachers or counselors, we can guide them to their strengths over their weaknesses.
That's great.
Right? So the second thing a red child will avoid is stepping up and taking responsibility, which sounds, what are you talking about? If the action will point to them being wrong,
That's funny.
right? Isn't that funny? Or not being right, they may step back from responsibility. Because we have to remember, too, the red's first line of defense is to blame. Okay? So you chuckled. What does that mean?
I'm thinking through just different situations and scenarios, but that would make sense. Like you said, if they want to be in charge, they don't want to be in charge of something that's going to fail, because then that makes them look bad. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Winning's not important, right? It's not everything. It's the only thing. You know? So you just want to win, and so whether it was the kickball team or whether it's an important project at work. I mean, you wanted to be very strategic and pick right, and your efforts be rewarded.
Yeah, I feel that way too, though. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to necessarily step up. I mean, I think about being in a classroom and the teacher asks, who wants to take on this project, and nobody's raising their hand because they don't know that they can necessarily succeed at that project, or lead this particular group. So I don't know. I guess it's like you kind of said, it's hard to kind of pull apart those different temperaments based on just certain things. You kind of do have to kind of
I'm
dig
curious,
a little
though,
deeper.
why would you raise your hand? What would be...
Why would I raise my hand?
Well, what would give you the motive to raise your hand?
The opportunity to do it right.
It's the right thing to do. It's your duty.
It's
And
especially if nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
I wanna do it, and I wanna try my best to do it right.
Let me ask you just a question, though. What if you didn't know how to do it? Would you still raise your hand?
I don't know. That's a good question.
What if you didn't know how to do it? Would you still raise your hand?
There would absolutely be times if I thought the reward was going to be great enough. I'd figure it out, or
Like, what do I get at?
or either I would collaborate with a team that could figure it out.
There you go.
So, but the reward would have to be the prize big enough to say, yeah, I don't know specifically how to get there, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that might be too much pressure.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Reds at times will not take responsibility if they know that is a lost cause. That will never see the light of day. It cannot win. It cannot work out.
Or it doesn't benefit them.
Because it has to make them shine?
Or it just has to make them feel like they accomplished something, or they
Okay.
produced something, or their efforts made sense, right? Because remember, on that task side of the board, but all those people, not just children, have to have a reason behind what they're doing.
Right.
But the reason for a red is some kind of accomplishment. There's some kind of end goal. Right?
Is that why you see sometimes, like with a child who's a red, would they create a way to win in a game when
Change the rules.
Yes, change the rules.
Our,
Like, would they
our
change-
red daughter,
does that?
she makes up the rules so that it will work
So that
out.
there's a win and a lose, because then she wants to play.
Well, maybe I have a red son too, because he will change a rule and my other son will get so mad. That is not the rule. Well, that's how we're going to play it this time. This is what we're going to do now. And it just frustrates everybody. That's interesting.
Well, I could tell when I was coaching, you could always tell the red kids, when they're telling you not to tell the score in like a baseball game, the red kids always knew the score, regardless of whether it was on a scoreboard or not. They knew.
Keeping it.
They knew what it was. They're like, we're ahead, we're ahead, we're down. They knew exactly where we were.
And what's interesting, if your other son won the game that your red son created,
Furious.
that's not taking, but because if you said as a mom, well, honey, you created this game. Well, I didn't, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I must have
That's
everything.
not taking the responsibility. And again, they love to blame. That, my shoes weren't tied right. He had a head start. That's not a good coach. That referee wasn't paying attention. They'll always go to that first. Here's something I really want you to know. That red independent child that you're talking about will be that way at 5, and they'll be that way at 35, and they'll be that way at 65. The red child is a challenge. Their temperament starts so early, it can surface so early in their lifetime, and they are looking for boundaries daily. And you have to know, a red is looking for boundaries, and they don't see them as a boundary, they see them as a challenge. Okay? They're looking to challenge those boundaries because this is an independent, driven person. I want you to think about the words that we say to them, because a lot of times they hear the word bossy or impatient or even sometimes bully, right? But let's refrain from calling them those names. Let's not even have them bend towards our will. A lot of times the reds feel like they're singled out and have to make more adjustments than all the other temperaments. Let's realize that as this red, as she becomes an adult, she's a visionary. And she will not hesitate to set things in motion and to lead the way doing it. And you know what that means in her strengths? That she's a leader worth following.
It's very hireable.
Right, exactly. Which is good for the mom and the dad, right? Right? When you become an empty nester, right? Which is a long time off for you, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. There are days when I feel ready to retire now, so.
There you go. There you go. Well, let's talk about the blues. Okay, so who thinks they have a blue? Give me some adjectives about any blue children.
I think I have a blue child.
You do?
I do.
Okay, so you have. This isn't the one we've talked about.
No,
this is another one.
I think I have a blue son. He's very sensitive. He's very introspective. He's very careful of what he says.
He wants to play the game the right way.
He wants to play the game the right way. He's like, no, let's pull out the rules and let's see what the rules say, because obviously his brother's gonna
made up his own.
Right. And he's very particular with what he says. So even in conversations, I was thinking about this when you were talking between he and my other son. My other son is very quick-witted, very quick with his thoughts and his minds, and they're just flying out of his mouth like, it's just flying. But the other one is slower. Mm-hmm. He takes more time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes my other son will make him feel like, come on, like what do you want to say?
What are you waiting for?
And then he'll just kind of shrink back and just be like, okay, well, no, never mind then. Don't worry about it. So he almost kind of feels defeated. But he's so giving. He's so kind. He's so driven when he's got something that he wants to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And will do whatever it takes to get that done. Mm-hmm. Just whatever it takes. And he's very strong in that. Yeah, I think he's a blue.
Okay.
What do you think?
I would say those are a lot of descriptive words for a blue. A lot of strengths and weaknesses there.
Okay.
For a blue. Well, let's watch this video and see what other melancholy blue children have to say.
I hold high expectations for myself.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm very sensitive. I'm like a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel a little bad for myself.
I like to be early rather than late. I want A's in all classes. I like to be safe than sorry. I don't like to mess up.
What happens when you do?
I can be kind of hard on myself.
Yeah. What do you think about like big crowds or noise or anything?
I'm not a big fan of noise.
Yeah.
I have a very high nervous system.
Okay.
I'm nervous about going to school, nervous about, usually I would just wake up and then get all stressed out.
What is your favorite thing to do?
Probably to read a book.
Really?
Yeah, I really like reading books. I read National Geographic.
You do? I bet you it gives you a lot of information.
I know the tallest building in the world.
What is it?
It's a Burj Khalifa.
I like the Harry Potter series. Mm-hmm. I read the whole series in a week.
Well, fishing, swimming, soccer, guitar, makeup.
Wow. Fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you thinking when you're fishing?
Good thoughts, positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Just relaxing a bit, just waiting until I catch something.
And you're good just waiting because you're doing something you like, right? You seem kind of like a rule follower. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. What if somebody's breaking any rule?
I think they should be following the rule.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not them and I can't make the decision for them.
What do you think you want to do when you grow up?
Probably like an engineer. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Like I really like coming up with ideas and coming up with and building things and stuff.
What do you get in trouble for?
Not listening very much. I kind of, when I'm focused and zoned out on something, I don't listen at all.
Yeah.
Putting hands on my sister's school, not being quiet.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing not to be quiet? That surprises me.
I was just doing examples. I really do be quiet though.
Okay. That was so different than what we've watched, but I can tell you every single one of those answers reminds me of my own son, who happens to be blue, right? And what I know about blues is they can be moody. This is, a child or even adult that loves to play the 20-question game because they truly believe you can read their mind. And if you really understood them, then why would you be asking them the questions you're asking? Or why would you be asking them to do the things that you're asking them to do, right?
I thought about my oldest daughter, who when she was little, somebody would, an adult would speak to her and she would ask a question or ask them, an adult would speak to her and ask her a question. And it would seem like an eternity before she would vocalize just even a hello.
Right.
I always thought she was intimidated, but I'd be like, just say hi, anything. But as I've seen her grow, she thinks so much about the right thing.
This is a child who's going to think before they talk. First of all, they're misidentified as shy, or they're misidentified as not fun. And a lot of times they're labeled as old souls, right? Like you can get a blue 4-year-old and you literally go, gosh, that's such an old soul because they have that persona about them, right? But again, we want to watch for things that they avoid too. And one of the things is making public mistakes. They do not want to make, and it says right here, saying the wrong thing, or even though they might be right, not saying it at the wrong time, right?
So I'm thinking about if you've got kids that are different, so you have a blue and you have a yellow, or if you have a red, if that blue wants to speak up, but won't because maybe every time they tried, that blue or that red just kind of pounced, I mean, because I feel like I've seen that with mine, my younger one, that I feel like is a blue.
Yeah.
Almost like has a hard time standing up for himself sometimes, or he just kind of will fall back and won't defend himself or make his statement known for fear that, it would be misrepresented or he might not say it quite right. So he takes his time and then the red just kind of this is what you're trying to say.
I think that's more the thing.
I've seen my blue, the older one is blue, the daughter, and then the younger is yellow, I think. And she, the blue will lean into the yellow to like go ask for something at a restaurant. Like if I've given them opportunity to go up and ask an adult something, she's like, can she come with me? So, to allow her sister to kind of take the lead because she doesn't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah.
They also avoid anything that makes them feel fearful. If they feel fearful, to join a club, to go join a team, to go on a ride.
If it's not safe.
If they perceive it's not safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were at an event with some friends in Chattanooga, and they have this tradition that every New Year's Eve, that morning on New Year's Day, they would jump into the cold pool in the backyard.
Polar jump. Yeah.
And so everybody jumped. It was time, and my blue son, he was right there with everybody, like, yeah, we're gonna do it. And you could see him so hesitant, like, I don't know about this, but he said he was gonna do it. And so everybody was in the water, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, come on, jump. And he goes right to the edge, and he stops, and he turns around. It wasn't, in his mind, it just wasn't safe. Like, he wouldn't take that leap. So that sounds like...
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
like that.
So again, we're watching for things they avoid. They also avoid noise or chaos or crowds, all of them, or individually, they will avoid that. So again, when we're trying to identify, it's not only the descriptive words, but these key things that the children will avoid will help you go, yeah, that's a blue, definitely. Because this old soul, this moody little old soul child is going to be that way again when they're 5 or when they're 60. I was probably the same when I was 5 as I am now, right? Because these blue children, like you said, are so hard on themselves. They are so hard on themselves, fearing failure and wanting to do everything in excellence, right? But this is a person that if anybody steps into compassion quicker, I would be surprised. This temperament steps into compassion so quickly, quicker than any other temperament. And they can creatively think out of the box and problem solve like no other. This is a temperament that is unmatched in knowing details of things. But sometimes we get stuck on their reserved or guarded temperament, and we assume that means that they don't want to be part of the group or they don't want to be in the relationship. But what we have to understand is, once you get past that guardedness and trust is established, this is a forever relationship. This is one you can totally and completely depend on.
Very loyal.
Extremely
And
loyal.
if they lose it,
deep.
it hurts them deeply.
Oh, deeply.
Lose the loyalty.
Well, just that connection. Even though at first, like I said, it might be guarded, but again, once you get past that, it is absolutely something that will carry them into relationships when they're adults. And all we have to do is we have to teach them again to stay in those strengths. We have to honor the fact that they love order and perfection and that they really do want to be a part of the group and be a part of the relationship, just to manage those weaknesses and have them function in the strengths that they have. So let's talk about the greens, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Who has a green? Who thinks they have a green? Brent?
Some adjectives, Brent. Tell me some.
Highly creative.
Okay.
Messy. I mean, his messes make messes. He filled his closet, so he had to get another closet of stuff. And, great mind and can be extremely focused if it's something he's interested in. So painting, he could sit and paint for hours. Is big into photography and can edit videos and do something that'll bring you to tears or laughter. But other things, like when I'm saying, hey, here's what you need to do, he's not going to do it. I don't think he owns a watch, right? There's nothing that's going to be on my timetable. And, if I say, hey, Caleb, before you go to bed, you left this mess, this mess, this mess. And then I go away and come back down the next morning, it's very likely there. And, just flies all over me. You also said, though, just made me think of, you said something, they're introverted, but they love people.
Yes.
So he would sit for hours and edit or do something creative by himself, and he was totally entertained, but yet he would take every opportunity to go have coffee with a friend. And would love that and look forward to that. And I'm like, why are you spending your time doing that? What it seemed like a waste of time to me, but not to him at all. And I see those relationships. I also see fearful at doing certain things. Like my other kids were, ready to scuba dive, and so they went scuba diving, and he missed out, and then he was sad he missed out later.
And that kind of goes into what I said, is they want to stay on the outskirts and look in till they're ready to jump in.
Absolutely.
And if you were on that side pushing him to jump in, he was like, no, I'm not doing it today.
Yeah, so when I tried to push more, and he's intellectual enough that his argument for not doing it is pretty good, so it's hard to argue with.
Yeah.
He was very verbose, and he wants to do things his way, and he was always my kid that when I would lay it out, he wanted to do it differently.
Yeah, and on his timetable,
his timetable.
Right, and they're very much do things they're interested in. Like, that's where the motivation is. Did you see that? The things he wasn't interested in, no motivation. When he was interested in it, it was a throttle 12.
Yeah.
Right.
And he procrastinates.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it too. Yeah, think of that. You know, all of them had their alarm clocks since they were in kindergarten. They had to wake themselves up and breakfast and do all that stuff. And, you know, my blue son was orderly. He woke up at, you know, an hour before to make sure everything was done. You know, Caleb being green, it's 20 minutes too late and he's got one shoe in hand and, you know, a bar drink running out the door for the bus late, you know.
And he's happy.
He's happy.
He made the bus.
It's fun. It didn't bother him.
No, it didn't bother him.
Just bothered his mom and I.
Oh, okay.
So let's watch a video of some other green phlegmatic children. So your perfect day, what does it look like?
Oh, doing nothing.
Well, I will just watch TV. I would invite a friend over.
Tell me your absolute favorite thing to do. Read.
I like getting alone time, just having time to self-reflect.
What's the least favorite thing to do? What do you not want to do?
Most of the time, it's just get out of bed.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't like school.
Okay. What stresses you out?
Usually, like large groups of people.
I do not really like that much noise. So like keep it quiet.
I enjoy smaller, like one-on-one interactions, but when I'm with a lot of people, I don't find it as pleasing.
What would you say some of your best strengths are?
Sleeping,
Yeah.
eating all the food,
Probably bringing like peace and joy to people.
easy going sometimes.
What are some of your weaknesses?
My mom says that I'm very stubborn.
Lazy.
Yeah.
I frequently have massive stack of laundry outside my room.
And then like laziness, or not laziness, just not the urgency to get anything done.
Okay.
Or if there's like chores and I have to like unload the dishwasher, like I will not be the first one on it.
And what are they saying to you?
Put away your laundry. Usually my mom is like, you've got all this laundry. This has been here for 2 weeks. Go put it away. I'm like, I just like to walk out in the morning and be like, wear this. Great, throw it on.
Because it's so convenient right there, all clean and
You just
folded.
walk out, it's right there.
You don't even have to go. That's great. Oh my gosh. I'm going to confess something right now. Greens are my favorite. They are totally my favorite. Even though I get so many questions about greens because they have the potential from adults to look like they're lazy or that they're leaving potential on the table, right? And what I want you to know again is they share some behaviors. They share strong will. They share frustration. But again, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about things that they avoid. Because again, that's the telltale right there. The first one out of the gate, they're going to avoid making important decisions that affect other people. This is why, especially with a child, you're going to hear a lot of, I don't know. I don't know. Right? What about Caleb or you're green when he was younger?
Absolutely, he would not make those decisions.
Any stories stick out to you about that?
About him just not making a decision.
That would affect another person. I mean, they really don't want that person to get hurt or to feel bad, you know?
Yeah, I don't, nothing jumps out at me
Okay.
as far as
I
him
know
not making a decision.
I know one that might is the second thing they want to avoid, responsibility for extra work. First of all, they don't even like the word work. I'll just tell you that. Like if you have a green child, try to refrain from using the word work. But tell me, extra work for a green, they will avoid it.
So I think in that scenario, it came time where if Caleb wasn't doing a sport or something, he was going to do something. He was going to have to work, and he wasn't going to go get a job at Chick-fil-A. I think he, after much prodding, he went to Publix and applied and whatnot. And I said nothing came out. So I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Well, I like to take pictures. So if you're going to do your own thing." We had to go through a business plan. I made him come up with a business plan, okay? And he did not like that at all.
How old was he then?
7.
He was probably 14, yeah. So he was either gonna work in high school, or play sports or do something. He just was not going to stay at home because the whole concept of work, I wanted, maybe that's from my dad, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have a good concept. You're going to leave here and you're going to know how to work.
Yeah.
And so he hated the process of coming up with a business plan. But we actually got down to the granular detail of how many photo shoots he had to do to be equivalent to a job at Chick-fil-A or Publix or somewhere else. And he figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
He, once the basis was set, then he was able to do it.
Yeah.
But he was not going to get there on his own.
No. He was going to avoid that.
And so we were just...
But let's talk about the third thing that the greens will avoid. They will avoid any kind of conflict or confrontation. Any kind of tension between people. Rachel, your face just was like, yep.
My 8-year-old son is definitely a green, and he avoids work. Sometimes as the weekly chores come around, he says, I already did that. And we're like, no, that was last week. This is the next Saturday. You have to do it again. Yes, it's here again. So as far as avoiding conflict, if the sisters are having a conflict, he will literally go into his room and start playing Legos or avoid completely. He'll go outside and play with the neighbors. He will just vacate the premises and we'll say, where is he? Where did he go? He's out of here. So he doesn't, he speaks about, I don't like it when everybody's upset. Why is everybody upset? If there's, and it's not even, it does not have to be a loud, boisterous conflict. He really feels it. And I get that. He feels even the slightest amount of conflict.
Then he'll just withdraw.
Yeah, he just withdraws.
The daughter, we have a daughter that Rachel just seems really similar to your temperament, who I'm pretty sure is green. And she does the same thing. Somebody's fighting and she will take on that emotion. So she will cry when she's not even in it, just because these other two are not getting along.
Yeah.
And she's also the one, the lazy thing, I have a lot of questions around with the green because, it's kind of a joke in our family, but she's the one when everybody's cleaning up the kitchen after we've eaten where you just go like,
Where'd she go? Yeah, she's gone.
It is uncanny how her stomach aches coincide with we need to clean up the kitchen. It is like they just work so well together. So how would you advise us how do we get the kitchen clean, Kathleen?
How do you get
That's
the
what
kitchen
we're really
clean?
asking.
Well, here's the thing. What we want to understand, what motivates a green first out of the gate is if they're interested in it. So what do we know about her already? She's an introvert that's people-oriented. So if we can even gear cleaning the kitchen to be not that she's interested in cleaning the kitchen, but she's interested in being with the people that she's with.
Yeah, like your dad and the companies that he started for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe there's a certain sibling that she would much more enjoy cleaning the kitchen with. And so you switch what the interest is. And then once the interest is switched, then she's cleaning the kitchen before she even realizes she's cleaning the kitchen, that she's doing work, right? Yeah. And what motivates it may even be what she's doing after. See, with the green, they're going to do something at the beginning or they're going to do something in the last minute. They rarely do anything during the middle, okay? But if you teach her to do it at the beginning, because then it frees her up to do whatever she wants, you're going to see that kitchen cleaned a lot quicker.
It makes me think about my mom. She would tell me to go clean my room, and that was a really overwhelming, because usually it was really messy, if I'm honest. But if she would come and be with me and even if she would check in and say, oh, great job, or, a little bit along, that was a whole different focus. It was time together as opposed to just the work.
Yeah, exactly. We want to the work is what will slow them down. It's more about what they're interested in or what they've been successful in the past, okay? Then you're going to have much more success motivating them. But again, this quiet, kind child is going to be a quiet, kind adult. Sometimes their lack of words or speed of action can frustrate every other temperament. But they care so deeply about everybody that sometimes they're inclined to suppress their own feelings. They suppress their own feelings and thoughts because they don't want the conflict, or it might cause tension with another person. But this person put in leadership, they will lead with honor and they will lead with selflessness. So what do we want to do to encourage this child? Well, first, let's stop telling them
They're lazy.
Well, let's stop deciding for them, right? Let's stop deciding for them. Let's make sure that we tell them that their thoughts matter, that their ideas matter, that their feelings matter. And then when they're thinking about how they want to respond to you and what they want to say, let's be prepared to listen. When they do finally speak up, let's listen.
So what about a parent like me whose kids are already grown and I'm sitting here looking back at the hands of time and I'm like, well, goodness, how do I, because they're still my kids.
That's
they're
right.
Still, you know, they still come to me with different things. I know all this information is good, but it's a different way of communicating with them because now they're adults.
But remember I said earlier,
5.
no,
35.
they're not going to change. Children are the purest in their temperament until the world starts telling them different. Right?
Yeah. You just made me think, it clicks with me just how different I think than, say, my son Caleb. He's colorblind. He's red-green colorblind, so he can't see it. He's mixing his paints or has his paint water in a turvis, and I'm sitting there thinking, that's a cup we drink out of. What are you doing? He's got paint splattered all over the granite countertop. And I remember one time cleaning the kitchen, and I'm telling him, Caleb, clean the counters. And it's like he scrubbed everywhere except where the paint was splattered everywhere. And I'm like, come here and look at this with, the paint with me. Do you see it? And he literally could not see the paint because of his color blindness. And it dawned on me, we see the world totally different. It's not that he was just making the mess or not cleaning up the mess to irritate me because he knew it was. It's because he truly didn't see it.
Truly didn't see it.
And I've probably learned my biggest lessons about my weaknesses through dealing with my green son.
Okay. Does anybody have a child that they're unsure of what the temperament might be?
We have a couple of children that I'm not sure. Like in general, just not sure about, or just the temperament? Yeah, definitely.
You're sure about them, but
We're
the
sure they're
temperaments.
ours, but we're not sure they're
about the
temperaments.
temperaments. Well, I just want you to hang with me, because in the next sessions, we're going to find out more and more about how to identify the children. And in the book, there's going to be all kinds of tools to help identify the
Kathleen,
child.
I'm hanging.
Are you going to hang
I'm
with me?
right here by your
Good,
side. I am
good.
your wingman.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
I like that. So before we end the day today, though, I have 2 things for you to do. Notice I didn't say I have work for you to do, but I have 2 things I want you to do. I want you to figure out your children's temperament, and there's tools in the back of the book that'll help you do that. And number 2, I want you to practice affirming their strengths and coaching them through the weaknesses. So we've also given you a practice sheet with that. It's titled Say This, Not That, okay?
That's going to help us
That
say
is gonna
this,
help.
not that?
Exactly, exactly.
I'm interested.
Are you interested? Good. So I'm so excited about next week because that is going to be the game changer. It's going to change every single conversation that you have, especially with the children that are standing in front of you.